What's up, YouTube? I'm Casey, and welcome to CJ's Garage. Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is Casey, and I'm glad to say that I am finally back out here making YouTube videos. It's been over a year since my last video, and really, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and just say that, you know, life happens, and sometimes you just have to take a step back from other things and focus on yourself and your own happiness, and that's what I did. And I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I'm out here again making YouTube videos. There was a point where, you know, I almost thought about selling the car. Clearly I didn't. I still have it. I'll probably never sell it. But that's about it. I mean, not much to talk about. So for today's video, I've had the 700 horsepower build for a little over a year now, and I just want to go over some of the, you know, pros, benefits of 700 horsepower. There's not many, other than, you know, the obvious. I'd like to talk about some of the issues that I do have and some of the problems that I've encountered since owning the car, and discuss, you know, daily driving and all sorts of other stuff that go along with it. But before we get started, the first thing I'm going to do to the car is I do have an event tonight that I'm going to be going out, hanging out with my buddies, so we need to wash up the car. And one of the issues that you're going to hear about later is, you know, coolant temperatures. So today I am finally going to make the leap, and I'm going to cut up my front bumper. It's an old bumper, so I really don't care anymore, and that front mount intercooler blocking the radiator, it needs some air to breathe. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to leave the bumper on the car when we do this, and we're just going to, you know, cut it up and do as best as I can, and I'll probably just do a quick little time lapse of that, and then I will get into discussing the pros, cons, and everything else about 700 horsepower. Somebody driving a little three-wheel motorcycle around the block. Nice. Alright, so before we get started on cutting up this bumper, a couple things we gotta do first. We got this sweet little Cobb license plate delete that I got. Probably, that's like one of the first things I bought for the car. And it's actually the wrong size, and I've gotten a lot of shit for it. But I've, you know, just kept it on the car because I'm not gonna buy another license plate delete. Who's gonna buy another license plate delete? But anyway, it is finally time to remove it because all of that is going to be gone, and some couple things that you're going to need. So this is really about all you're going to need to cut the front bumper. I'm not going to be doing a full how-to video. It's probably just going to be a quick time-lapse because there's plenty of other videos about how to cut up your bumper, you know. So just really razor blade and some blue tape, and get to cutting. Good luck. Alright, you guys, so now that we got that bumper cutout done, let's go ahead and discuss all of the good and bad about owning a 700 wheel horsepower STI. And I'm not gonna lie, there's really only one good thing about having that much power. It's ridiculously fast, and it is ridiculously fun. But that fun can get you into a lot of trouble. I'm not gonna lie. I have yet to get into trouble, knock on wood, but the speed of that car is dumb. I think in 4th gear I did a pull, just a quick little pull, and it went from 60 to about 120, like immediately. And that's just in 4th gear. So that's about all of the good that comes with having that much power. So we can go ahead and discuss all of the other stuff that comes with it. And whether or not, you know, the benefits outweigh all of the bad stuff. Alright guys, so for this first negative side effect, I like to call it, of having 700 wheel horsepower, we're going to take a trip inside of the car. So, if the STI is your only car, and you're going to be daily driving it every single day. Man, Panic at the Disco. Anyway, if it's your daily driver and you're going to be daily driving it, you should probably take a look at this. So, go ahead and take a little sneak peek at what my gas mileage is. And now that is probably a little bit wrong, and I have been using E85. So it says 7.2 miles per gallon, and I'm not gonna lie, it could possibly be that bad sometimes. But on average, out of a tank of gas, I can usually get about 100 to 150 miles. And that's about 12 to 13 gallons. So I mean, you're barely talking maybe 10 miles a gallon if you're lucky. A lot of highway driving, but in city driving, and if you're doing pulls, you can watch your gas tank literally drop as you floor it with those injectors and everything. So number one biggest downside of having that much power is you are going to drink your gas, and you're going to be going through gas like crazy. All right, so for the second issue that we're going to talk about, we're going to go to the engine bay here. So when you move your turbo around and you get the big giant turbo and a big giant front mount intercooler to support the turbo, you block out your radiator pretty bad. In this Florida heat, you're talking like maybe 80 to 90 degrees a day in the summer with stupid humidity. I've been seeing coolant temperatures. My average coolant temperatures have been about 220, 200, like, and they sometimes go up to 230, and I'm like, oh, I gotta take the car, turn the heater on, and like drop them down and sweat. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's why I did that front bumper cut today, to see if maybe, hopefully, I can drop my coolant temperatures down with that bumper cut. And then another thing that I'm gonna have to try to do is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but my my headers down there are not wrapped. So I'm gonna try to wrap those headers and see if that can also keep some of the heat out of the engine bay and drop my coolant temperatures down a little bit more, because as of right now, in the summer, I can't really even get under boost without worrying about the car overheating. So that is definitely another major issue that I have been dealing with. If any of you guys have any other ideas of how to try to get those coolant temperatures down, go ahead and let me know. But as of right now, I've got the Mishimoto radiator. So, I mean, it's a big radiator. Both fans, I'm not sure if you can upgrade the fans, but those work perfectly fine. So if you guys have any other ideas how to get these coolant temperatures down, go ahead and leave me a comment. Only issue that I've had, which I was extremely discouraged because I thought my engine blew, but it didn't. I was driving, and then as I was like, accelerating, getting up to speed, getting onto the road, I heard a loud pop, and then my check engine light came on, and I was like, did I really just blow my motor? I wasn't even doing anything crazy. So I pulled over to the side. The car was still running. It didn't sound right, but it was still running, and it threw ignition coil 4 something code. And so I parked the car in the garage for about a month, and I didn't touch it because I was like, it, the engine's blown up, I'm done, get rid of this car, like, I hate it. And then eventually I was like, whatever, let's just try to fix it. So I went in, and turns out just the electrical connector between that connects to the coil pack on cylinder 4 just came out. The little plastic clip wasn't really clipping anymore, so I just zip tied it. And ever since then, I haven't had any other problems, like mechanical issues with the car. It's been running perfectly. But when it comes to mechanical issues, now that you have a build of 700 horsepower, anything that does go wrong with the car, more than likely is going to be pretty expensive to fix. So that is another big downside, is money. It is very expensive to build 700 horsepower. I wouldn't say very, but if you were just to put only money to get 700 horsepower, you're probably talking maybe 20, 30 grand. in parts, because you're gonna have to replace your engine, turbo, all of that. So it is pretty pricey, and then once you put that much money into the car, it's almost like I never really thought, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna daily drive this car, I'm not just gonna let it sit. But people in Florida suck at driving. They do not pay attention, and they are just absolutely terrible. So another reason why I don't really drive the car that much is because I'm afraid somebody's gonna hit me and take me out, and then all this work that I've done is just gonna be gone. Now, it hasn't happened yet. It almost happened back in Washington when I got sideswiped on the freeway. When it comes to money, like it is pretty scary to think that you're driving down the road in like I don't know, I've spent over $100,000 on this car, and somebody could just come along and take it all out in a matter of seconds. When it comes to having this much power and a lot of boost, you are going to experience a decent amount of turbo lag. And with that turbo lag, I think it kicks in right around 4,000 RPM. And when it kicks in, it kicks in. So if you don't know how to like handle that kind of power, like you can easily take it and it'll go just as you see all those Mustangs do, just go right off on the road and take out a whole crowd of people. So if you don't know how to drive with that much power, maybe don't just jump straight to it, because it's not a good idea. Even with all-wheel drive, it's not going to save you from sliding off the road because you hit 40 pounds of boost and you're sideways. So that's another issue. Mainly the turbo lag, not driver experience. That's your own fault. That can be fixed. Sorry. But yeah, big turbo lag. Other than that, I mean, there's really not that much other issues when it comes to it. Just terrible gas mileage. It gets really hot, and it costs a lot of money. So if you don't care about any of those things, maybe 700 wheel horsepower or more is right for you. But other than that, I think that's about it for all of what I wanted to discuss on that. So I'm gonna go get changed and whatnot, and then we'll go check out some other builds.